What's up, Rad fam? Today we are playing a monster inside. Is that how you say it? The monster inside, not a monster, the monster. And things are gonna get spooky, so let's just jump right into it. Ooh, an audio-visual novella. That's exciting. My head pounded, ears still ringing slightly. Some of the worst nightmares I'd had in years left me feeling like I'd been punched in the jaw. But just like any other day, I dragged myself to the office. There was another notice on the door from Mayor Vinetti's office. Permits out of date. They didn't like me much and were trying to drown me in paperwork. Okay, getting the feeling of, maybe a PI, maybe a rogue detective. It was a slow month. Weeks since I'd gotten any real cases to work on. So I passed the time pacing the office, smoking and staring out the mirror in the corner, safely covered with an old bedsheet. Why? Why do you not want your reflection shown? I don't dare look at my own reflection. I'm too afraid of what I might see. Afraid someday I might have to face what I really am. A monster? The girl came in so quiet I nearly choked on my cigarette. Mister, please, you gotta help me, mister. Alright, so, we got some options. Calm down, sit and talk. Yeah, what can I help you with? You ever hear of knocking first? I think I always like to take like the nice approach. So I'm gonna say calm down now and sit and talk slow. Okay, thanks. It's just no one will listen to me. Just tell me your tale. I'm listening. She eyed me with just a dash of suspicion as I tossed back a handful of pills and chased them with a swig of whiskey. Yeah, I'd probably look at you a little weird too, bud. I could tell this might take a while. Her name was Lily. She told me she was his mistress, the man all over the newspapers, the infamous banker, Mr. Renegade Farnsworth. Renegade? No, I think that was Reginald. Oops. Mr. Farnsworth was a drunk, philandering bastard, but this girl seemed genuinely concerned that he had recently gone missing. Less concerned about the fact that Mr. Farnsworth's wife had just turned up dead in Central Park 2 nights ago. Ooh. Why was she not as concerned? Because she's the one that did it? Did she hire someone to do it? Did she know someone was going to do it? Ooh, let's find out. You don't understand. He just couldn't have done it. He hated his wife. But he couldn't have killed her. Everyone thinks it was him and no one believes me. He's got to be in trouble. Is she so sure? Because it was her? I ain't saying I believe ya, but what makes you think he's in danger? Or case looks pretty simple to me. I'm gonna say the first one. Well, mister, I'm the one that did it. Jack. You can just call me Jack. Jack. Whoever did that to his wife must have been the one who took him. He would have never left me. He promised me. Okay, girl, every mistress ever says, he told me this. He promised me. He was gonna leave his wife. He hated his wife. He loved me. It's all bullshit, girl. You had to think, if someone can lie to the person that they married or the person, that's their family, they can lie to you. Okay, you ain't special. They'll say whatever they'll say to get you in bed. That's just the truth. I'm sure Mr. Farnsworth promised this poor girl a lot of things. Please, the cops won't listen to me and they want to bring him in on charges. You gotta prove it wasn't him before they find him. Honestly, I doubt they are in too much of a hurry. Farnsworth had practically the entire police force in his deep pockets, probably why they hadn't found much yet. If they found him and brought him in, it would be due to public pressure. Sometimes a mob with pitchforks is more dangerous than one man with money. So I can say you got my curiosity, but you might not like what I find. I can help you. We'll get to the bottom of this. Don't worry now. I'm gonna go with the first one. I'm gonna be very honest. Oh, thank you, Mr. Jack. Thank you, but please, be careful. I don't think this was just any murder or kidnapper. I think it was a beast. What does she mean by that? Metaphorical or literal? Beast. The word struck me funny, like when you jar your elbow in a hard corner, except in hushed whispers and bedtime stories for children. Oh, they are real enough, all right. They just get better at hiding, controlling their unseemly urges. But I hadn't seen any monsters in nearly 15 years, back when I was still a cop myself. So something happened, so the mayor doesn't like him. He used to be a cop, now he's a PI, so he's gotta ruffle some feathers. Well, that's definitely an interesting theory. I can help you. We'll get to the bottom of it. Leave the detective work to me. Let's not jump to conclusions here. I'm going to say that one. I just have a feeling about it. Something tells me you can get to the bottom of it. You're good at this sort of thing. Is it because I'm a beast myself? Sure. Can't you see how busy I am with cases? I replied a little too harshly. Sarcasm wasn't my strong suit. I reassured her some more and sent her on her way. I didn't want to scare her, but I warned her before she left to keep her doors locked and call me if she saw anything suspicious. I didn't know if she was in any danger herself, but better safe than sorry. And that's true, better safe than sorry. Always better safe than sorry. That night, I made my way to the Central Park. It was a long shot, but maybe there was something there the cops had missed. Sometimes, man. Chapter 1 over. The scene was already picked clean by the cops days ago, but I got a knack for finding things that others overlook. A knack? More of a symptom of condition. Ooh, what does that mean? Other, less useful symptoms I kept in check, but for the time being, my keen sense of smell would come in handy. Ooh, am I like a werewolf? That's pretty cool. Keen sense of smell. Obviously, some ruffled some feathers somewhere. People are afraid of him, maybe. Or is he like a killer at heart, you know? Like he's a psychopath. He wants to go murder people. It was faint, but I could smell it before I even approached the police line. The scent was less of a thing and more of an emotion. Seduction. Ooh, what does that mean? Like, well, I know what seduction means, but like he's like seduced by the smell of death. A strangely familiar smell. I expected the scent of trepidation or maybe even outright fear, but Mrs. Farnsworth seemed to have been at the height of pleasure when she left this world. Brought new meaning to a crime of passion. Oh, so you can smell like how people died? Interesting. That's kind of a morbid but probably useful in the field thing to have. Pushing the thought from my mind, it was time to get down to business. Muddy footprints everywhere. Difficult to pick out anything from the prints the cops left behind in their haste. But cops don't wear $2,000 pairs of carquinos? How would he know it's a $2,000 pair of carquinos? It looked like Mr. Farnsworth was there that night and walked away on his own 2 feet. But like, okay, how do you know? How do you know he just didn't come to the crime scene after the cops called him to see like his wife, you know? But look, there's definitely something on the tree trunk here. A burn mark on a nearby tree caught my eye. I ran my finger along its length and felt a chill down my spine. A burn mark? This wasn't just any burn mark. This was the mark of an ancient magic. It's doubtful the cops would have picked up on it. Could Lily have been right? Something unnatural was at play here. Ooh. But I was no stranger to the strange. I feel like that would be someone's Instagram bio. After looking around for a long while, I realized the park had given up all it was hiding from me. So I trudged back to my apartment and my head hit my pillow like it owed me money. The next morning, I was reeling from another bout of ghoulish nightmares. But I tried to hide my discomfort when I saw Lily was already sitting outside my office. Very devoted girlfriend. Maybe because she was promised money. She waited wordlessly as I unlocked the door and ripped down another notice from the mayor's office. I motioned for her to step inside. Seemingly afraid of what I might say, she finally worked up the courage to ask. So, what did you find? Well, I've got some good news. Farnsworth might still be alive. Not sure about beasts, but something unnatural was at play. Might be right to worry about monsters. Found a spell's mark. I'm gonna say he might still be alive. I probably shouldn't have given her false hope like that, but she seemed like she needed something to hold on to right then. She didn't need to know about the mark on the tree. How do you know that? Where is he? Found his footprints? Seems like he got out safely. There was signs he was at the scene and slipped away. I'm gonna go with more vague. My tone was indifferent towards her as I turned and grabbed a bottle from my desk drawer. A dryness in my throat made it difficult to swallow my meds. Oh, so they're meds. They're not like recreational pills. But you don't know where he went? Do you think the news this morning is related? What news? Haven't you heard? Yeah, but you should tell me what you know. Don't play that shit. Just if you don't know something, just say you don't know something. You're just gonna save yourself and other people a lot of fucking time and trouble. Nope, right, rough night followed by a rough morning. They found the police chief's wife dead by the docks. They say it happened last night. Ooh, shit. Let me guess. Chief Amato is missing too? My face might have betrayed a hint of satisfaction as she confirmed my suspicions, but it faded quickly. Amato was a shit cop and a shit chief. He was half the reason I left the force. Oh, so he wasn't, like, fired. But now his wife was dead and I had more questions than I did the day before. The gears in my head started to spin, which wasn't helped by the splitting pain at my temples. I told Lily I needed time to work and she left slightly dejected, wanting more answers than I could provide. The night after the cops had cleared out the docks, I could slip down and see what I could uncover concerning Mrs. Amato's untimely demise. The cold air smelled strongly of salt and oil and... blood? Could it be? That smell again, like someone had bottled pure arousal and used it as perfume. What the fuck is going on here? It hit me like a long forgotten memory, but the sensual fumes soon gave way to a rush of adrenaline. I knew exactly what the scent reminded me of, and that scared me more than not knowing. Did he have something to do with it? Did he do something bad in the past? I looked down at my hands shaking. The nightmares. The headaches. No, I was better now. I was reformed. I had to focus, no jumping to conclusions. Follow the evidence. Oh shit, I think we might be the fucking monster, man. They're they're the smallest piece of purple fabric, torn and caught in the splinter of a board. The police report didn't say anything about Mrs. Amata wearing purple, and it was certainly of a quality that you wouldn't expect down here. Don't see too many high society types around flaunting royal purple threads. Then why was she down here? Red Phoenix cigarettes. Same shitty brand I smoke every day. Everyone's got their vice. Yeah, it's not like the part that everyone's got the vice I have an issue with. It's the part that it's like the same brand that you smoke. That's a little, I mean, right? That's interesting. I pulled out my own brand of reds and lit up. I could already feel another headache coming on, but looking out over the waves seemed to help me forget that I murdered people. The cold helped me push down the uncomfortable thoughts that had been bubbling to the top of my brain. That I'm a murderer. Why am I saying that so cheery? Oh my god. I honestly don't remember the walk back to the office. Apparently I spent the night in my easy chair. The air from the docks lingered on my clothes. It was still dark out. No, I checked the clock. How long had I been out? Had I really slept through the entire next day? Wow, dude, if you're losing track of time like that, that's never a good sign. If you ever feel like you're losing track of time like this, like, you need to go to the hospital. A newspaper was sitting under the door. As I stood to fetch it, I nearly fell over. A wave of nausea hit me like a ton of bricks. I steadied myself and regained my composure. Before I even picked up the paper, I could already read the headline. Breaking, mayor missing, wife found dead. Gosh, what's with all the wives being dead too, man? What do you have against them? 2 cases a coincidence. 3 is a pattern. I would say 2 is likely a pattern. The cops could be asking questions soon. They knew I had a history of antagonizing all the victims. I stumbled to my desk and slammed back 3 days worth of inhibitor pills. I couldn't take any chances. I had to investigate the scene to be sure. I threw my jacket and went to the door. Lily caught me off guard on the other side. Jack, where were you off to? I've been trying to reach you all day. I'm sorry, Lily, but I had the time to talk. I have to go. I've been busy. I'm off to Mrs. I'm gonna say I have to go. Just in case she talks to police, I don't want them to know where I'm going. Okay, but we need to talk when you get back. Stay safe. Maybe it's her, though. Maybe she's like the werewolf killer. She gave me a soft kiss on the cheek as I rushed past. Part of me wanted to stay and tell her it'd be okay, but it would be a lie. Ooh, that music. Some shit gonna go down in this chapter? The alley was located just behind the high-rise apartments where Mayor Vanetti and his wife lived. I could tell the police were spooked now. The crime scene was even sloppier than the last. They hadn't even bothered to submit the trash and evidence. Well, that's what the first place they're gonna look is the trash. Why wouldn't they at least look through the dumpster? It seemed untouched. No one wants to do dirty work. But I know how to find the good stuff. It really doesn't take long if you know what to look for. Lightweight bags usually mean someone was dumping documents. If you were lucky, they didn't bother to shred them. Oh shit. I'm about to find some major corruption, I bet, going on. Jackpot. Shell companies, shady stock trades, bribes. I knew Mayor Vanetti was crooked, but this was unbelievable. If you knew he was crooked, why would it be unbelievable? Just the level of crookedness, maybe? And there was more. Letters between Mayor Vanetti and Chief Amato talking about me. Ooh, shady bitches. How they were trying to get me shut down. They didn't like me snooping around crime scenes all the time. Well, they weren't here to stop me snooping around on this one. Definitely do the car. Vanetti's car. If he's still alive, why wouldn't he have left in his car? It didn't make any sense. I honestly wasn't too motivated to find him, but the stakes were too high, and my bet was edging towards unthinkable. I could see a really good reason not using his car if he's a wanted dude, you know? As I searched around for anything that might soothe my fears, I caught the scent again. It overwhelmed my other senses with pleasure. It was intoxicating. A weapon used on the weak-willed, a weapon I knew all too well, though it had been many years since I had used it. Was there another like me? Was I being framed? It wasn't possible. Was it? Why would you assume you're the only one of a kind? I just feel like no one's that special. I just feel like if there's someone, if you're a werewolf, then why would you not think other werewolves exist? Like, what would lead you to believe that you're literally the only person in the whole world that was like you? I was taking my inhibitors. I was reformed. He keeps talking about that. But the nightmares, the headaches, the memory lapse, I couldn't even trust myself. I started walking back out the alley when something shiny caught my eye. A watch. Not just any watch, though. My watch. Okay, well, right then and there, if it's your watch, your cigarette, like, dude, come on. The smell, like, it's you. How long had my wrist been bare? Surely I had just dropped it when I first came down the alley. Oh, I didn't think of that. That is true. You probably would think that maybe it did just fall off. I checked the time just before I left the office, hadn't I? Or did I use the wall clock? I couldn't be sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I can see the doubt. I couldn't be sure of anything, so I ran. Okay, that looks guilty as fuck, though, running from a crime scene. Even though it's already, like, a taped off crime scene. Like, it's still, like, a little guilty looking. I don't know why I ran back to the office. The cops would probably show up any minute to knock the door down and cart me away. They would put it together before long. Maybe it would be best for everyone if I simply faced my own reflection. Ooh, yeah, boy, I want to see what you look like. But Lily was still there waiting for me. God, Lily's really devoted to finding this guy. Jack, what's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost. My own ghost came back to haunt me from the past. Ooh, so cryptic. You're not making any sense, Jack. Come sit down. Yeah, if someone said that to me, I'd probably be like, yeah, okay, bud. Are you in a 1940s inspired novella? You don't understand. You're not safe around me. I took a good last look at her as I was prepared to shove her out the door. I noticed she was wearing the same thing she had when she first came to my office 3 days ago. Damn, girl, you not changing? What the fuck? You should shower a little bit. I get grief, but, like, come on. You're gonna smell. A beautiful purple dress. Oh, fuck. She's setting you up. She's setting you up. She's setting you up. She's setting you up. Odd that I hadn't really noticed before, but it made her seem out of place, out of time. And it was frayed around the edges, torn in places. My chair caught my fall as my knees failed me. It was you. You are the monster. Succubus. Succubus? Oh, shit. Oh, Jack. We are one and the same, you and I. We are both monsters. I'm simply more honest with myself. There's no such thing as reformation. Those pills you take only make you dull. Beasts like us should never suppress our true nature as you have, Incubus. Those men were probably dead too, now I figured. She probably took them to her lair and harvest their seed. Ugh. So you've done all this just to wake me up? You could say that, though it seemed enough just to have you doubt yourself. You believed you were still capable of such horrors, which means deep down, you probably are. Ooh, good point. Interesting. Psychological little like warfare going on. That's fucked up. You can't escape it now. Now I need you to complete the deed. You took my watch, messed with my head. Oh, don't act like I didn't do you a favor. Those men hated you and wanted you gone, and now they are gone. I had her pegged all fucking wrong. I mustered the strength to stand again, moving casually to the window by the corner. She was right about one thing. I was dull, weak compared to her. If I refused her and she attacked me, I was a dead man. I had to keep her talking. I've never met a succubus who seduces and kills women. Oh, please, such a 14th century stereotype. Hey, good for you, girl, get it. I don't discriminate when it comes to pleasure of the flesh. But I do still need an incubus like yourself to take the tainted seed I've harvested from those awful men and plant it among the fertile masses for me? Oh, what? I'm tired of draining my lovers just to survive. I'm ready to settle down and start a family. I positioned myself carefully, making sure she was looking my direction. Sorry, but I'm not your guy. With the quick flick of my wrist, I whipped the old bedsheet off the corner mirror. Lily was blinded by her own reflection and sucked into the mirror with a painful, monstrous scream. Trapped. Ooh, what? Shielding my own eyes, I pulled a revolver from my desk side drawer, aimed it at the mirror, and fired. I had no idea succubuses were like attracted to themselves in the mirror. Is that a thing? Well, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up, especially if you enjoyed that little twist ending. That was cool as fuck. I'm a big fan of twist endings. If you want to see another video from me, which I post daily, haha, hit the bell. It's the easiest way until the bell stops working. Until next time, keep up the randomness, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.